jump into some Bite Down Boxing. If you would like to support Bite Down Boxing, check out the articles that I put up from a couple of the fights Saturday night, as well as if you gamble on sports, try betus.com.pa and use promo code JOIN125. You can help me out somehow. That's betus.com.pa, promo code JOIN125. Consider them for your sports gambling needs on all sports. Saturday's women's bout. Salute to the ladies. Salute to the fans at Madison Square Garden. For the most part, salute to the zone. You know, to put Jake Paul on the mic to commentate the fight, Jessica McCaskill, you know, you're taking some risks with just throwing anybody out there because they have some connection to the sport. And for it to be such a, really, the level of the commentary was not commensurate with the moment. To go to great lengths to talk about how monumental the fight was between Taylor and Serrano, and then it just kind of put some people together to call it maybe a sadder part of the show. Let me get into an opening bout on there. One of them that I did write up, which was Crews-Dezurn against Sweden's Ellen Cederroos. You know, Cederroos was greener than I thought. And shout to Franchon for not being a standing target, you know, and not standing still, not standing at the edge of Cederroos' power or her 1-2. You know, she has a pretty basic offense. And, Big Mama, the heavy-hitting diva, came out and set the tone right away, landed some big shots to overhand right, really signaling to Cederroos that this is a level higher than Alicia Napoleon Espinoza. Her face was bloodied in the third, maybe in the second or third round. But she was good at closing the distance, being the shorter fighter, giving up the reach, 2.5 inches, I think, of height. Oh, actually, she had a reach advantage, but just having better timing and being more aggressive. I couldn't believe how badly Cederroos was at managing her range to get her shots off in a manner that would allow her to be effective. She kind of kept falling in and never really got that spacing that she needed to land the shots to kind of get back into the fight. But she's a tough woman. She's big. I mean, she's tough as hell. She took a lot of big shots throughout the fight. There was only a couple of minutes when Franchon Crews-Dezurn kind of ran out of steam. I told you she throws everything hard. And I told you it was going to be something to watch for, a detail to watch for was her fitness. And she was, Claressa Shields made note of it, that was probably the fittest that she seen her look. She definitely was able to move around and stay alert, keep her hands up, keep that space when she wanted to keep that space, stay away from Cederroos. She was able to land big shots late in the fight to kind of quell any kind of late rally. Good fight. She wins it. Why? Unanimous decision. I have nothing wrong with that fight whatsoever, or with that decision. I mean, it was pretty academic. What's next for her? She achieves undisputed status. Not a lot of fighters can get that done, but she did. Shout out to her and her relationship and rapport with trainer Barry Hunter. Shout out to Barry Hunter for pushing and always demanding more and really keeping the fight simple for her and really just kind of, steering her into an undisputed title. It was an easy fight for her to win. Like you said, don't sit here and lose this to a part-time soccer player or something. not to be disrespectful or to scoff it or be dismissive of Setarous's effort, but she was, she was outclassed. She was outclassed. But like I said, gutsy effort, just unable to get anything started throughout the fight. Moving to the main event, like I said, man, Madison Square Garden looked awesome. The fans looked awesome. The production, the pre-fight production or the ring stuff was awesome for the most part. And then just the effort, and to really look like professional boxing. From the first round, the feeling out process, Taylor kind of being on the back foot. A lot of jabs thrown that did not land. I think it was only one jab scored in the whole fight. But just to see that parity between the two opponents, and for both to have their good moments. 173 to 147, I believe, was the landed punches that they were credited for. Some people are going to look at that 173 versus the 147 and say, how could Serrano have not lost or not won the fight? But she had a 30 punch. She was credited with a 30 punch advantage in the 5th round. And you know what? And I think that's pretty legit that somebody on one of the judges scored that a 10-8 round. When you land 30 more punches, there was and shout to Katie Taylor for not going down. It was a couple of times where she was hurt and took like that misstep and kind of stumbled a little bit, and she could have fallen, but she didn't. She gave it everything. I don't have a problem with the decision. Necessarily. I think if you factor in some of the punch stat or the CompuBox numbers, and if you look at the fight, I think you get a split decision. When you ask 3 people to score it, I think it's very plausible that it could be a split decision or maybe even a majority decision. Tough one for Serrano, kind of at a loss of why she became so inaccurate. Why in the and maybe you land 30 more punches than a person. Maybe she gassed herself out a little bit. We really don't think of lightweights and below gassing out in fights. But when you have a moment where you're just landing the way that she was landing in that 5th round, maybe she needed some time to recover. Maybe she needed 2 or 3 rounds. And for me, looking at the scoring, I don't know if I give Katie Taylor 2 of the first 3 rounds. I don't know if I really see her getting the 6th, 7th, and 8th round. I didn't see her winning the 10th round. I want to say in the 7th and 8th round, they were tied in connected punches, and then maybe in the 8th, it was 12-13 in favor of Katie. I do think that Katie she wasn't really fighting to survive. I mean, she was kind of fighting off of instincts. I mean, she was badly hurt. She was trying. She was managing, and again, Serrano is not really attacking effectively. Like I said, she's very inaccurate on what she's doing for a couple of rounds, as Katie is able to get some space, connect here and there, and then move away, continue to recover, and to be there to try to take a stand and retain her titles in the 9th and the 10th round. Then we have a phenomenal ending to the conclusion to the 10th round. You've been hurt by this opponent. You could very easily have stayed away from, that type of power again. But they put on an awesome show. They go toe-to-toe, swinging for the fences at the bell. I think Serrano is landing the better of the shots. It just comes down to a matter of when Serrano had her big moments and not having enough of them per se, while Taylor may have been steadier throughout the fight and was able to get the decision on 2 of the 3 cards. So, hey, I talked about this with the Dillian White, the effort that I saw him give in the fight versus Fury. It was embarrassing to me for a guy who'd been on, who'd been the WBC mandatory opponent for 700, 800 days or something, and to go in there and give that type of effort was embarrassing to me. And the type of to be arguing about money, and the type of money that he got. Conversely, we take a look at this situation right here. Just I don't know how you can get mad at it. And again, even if you want to get into the argument of the 3-minute rounds, what if Katie, or what if Amanda Serrano had 3 minutes in the 5th round versus just the 2, and the fact that the Serrano camp proposed the 3-minute rounds. This is one of those situations where 3-minute rounds might work between a pair such as these two in this situation, but there aren't a lot of women. There aren't a lot of pairings and bouts that you could make overwhelmingly in women's boxing where the 3 minutes would be a good thing. If we put it to 3 minutes for a lot of these fights, the optics to me wouldn't be favorable. That's just how kind of unique this moment is, and which is why it's a shout out and a testament to DAZN, Eddie Hearn, and Matchroom for getting this fight together. Like I said, I think I can't remember if it was 2019 with the pandemic. Maybe it was 2020. Maybe it was like March of 2020 was when they had this fight on the books, and then it was one of the earliest fights to get scrapped or scratched because of, or were they a week away from announcing it, or they were trying to finalize it, whatever it was. The fight didn't go off back when. But shout out to them now, because originally Serrano was arguing about 200, I think maybe it was Maldonado or both of them, her trainer Jordan Maldonado, but they were arguing about Serrano's take home needed to be $150,000 or $200,000. Her take home, not what the purse was, or not the numbers that they threw out there, but Jordan Maldonado was adamant about her needing to have a take home of after trainers' fees and sanctioning fees and all the other stuff. He was adamant that he felt his fighter needed to be going home with $150,000 or a minimum of that. And here it is now. This was a 7-figure fight, reportedly, for both fighters, and they put forth that type of effort. Shout out to Amanda Serrano for being classic. Here in her hometown, providing the excitement and the sparks, and the explosives and everything that we saw in that 5th round, having a good turnout, and being a professional leading up to the bout, and just everything, and having it not go your way in front of her hometown crowd. I don't know if Puerto Rico, Boricuas, New Yorkers, I don't know if they were the majority in the building or not, but to be in your hometown, putting forth a great effort, and, the decision go to the other person. And then we know Maldonado has embarrassed himself a number of times. Shout out to both of them for showing some restraint, some humility, and not marring the moment indelibly with saying the wrong stuff. Maybe there's a chance to do the rematch. The what's his name? I can't think of his last name. The retired boxer was talking about Katie Taylor should retire or consider retiring. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Eddie Hearn saying they want to have a fight. If they do it, they need to do it in Ireland. I don't know how they get all that work. You know, if Katie Taylor wants to, if she wants to run it back, that's fine. If she said that's enough, it just might be a situation where the timing was messed up. But they gave you what they gave us what they gave us, and I'm cool with that. So I wouldn't say that she ducked Amanda Serrano if she packed it in or called it a day. Like I said, man, I've had my moments where I didn't see great. No, I don't want to say I didn't see greatness. I just saw her have some sketchy moments. But again, what male fighter in a lengthy career, what male fighter hasn't had some help here and there, or has some off nights, some shaky nights? So I don't even really want to say I've been down on Katie Taylor. I'll say this: she's a professional. She's been active. She's fought some good fights. I love the way that she listens to her corner. She comes ready to fight. And there's a lot to be said in being good at your job, or being consistently good, or great at your job. And that's what she's done. So I have nothing to say negative about Katie Taylor. Awesome. I enjoyed the hell out of the fight. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't have to argue too much that the wrong person won. Like I said, if you factor it all together, you see a split or a majority decision. Would I have been mad at a draw? It is what it is. Anyway, bite down boxing. Don't let them count you out. I'm out. Peace.